Hey guys, it's Jess. Welcome back to my channel. I am sharing another card tutorial with you today using Trinity Stamps from the new release. I'm going to be using some sentiments that are from the new release from Trinity, so I will be using one little grouping of sentiments that come from a stamp set that's actually full of sentiments made for Valentine's Day and like love themed sentiments. I really like this set. It's going to be used a whole bunch, I can tell already. So I just arranged them in a pattern that I thought would work well for repeat stamping, sort of at an angle onto my acrylic block, and then now I'm just stamping them with some black hybrid ink onto a piece of white cardstock. I like to start in the middle when I do stamping like this, so right in the middle of my cardstock I stamp my first image. That way when I work my way outwards as I'm stamping these images repetitively, I will not end up with any weird, awkward, empty spaces in the center, and that usually works pretty well for me. I like to do it this way, and I don't usually have any issues. If for some reason you do end up with some awkward, weird spaces in the interior parts of your card, you could always go back through with like a small little heart stamp or some tiny other little stamp that you have and fill in those little areas that you feel like need a little extra something. I think that that works really well. That way you're not stressing too much over trying to create the perfect background. All right, so once I got my stamped images all lined up the way I wanted, you can see here that I've done it at kind of a diagonal. So I'm not putting anything in the lower left-hand corner. That is because I'm going to use the monster stamp from the stamps that I used in my previous video. I'll go ahead and link that up above in case you want to check out another project I made using this stamp set. This one is full of cute little monsters and they are super stinking adorable. So I am using this one that looks like he's giving a little hug, using my mini MISTI to stamp this out so that I can repeat stamp it if I need to and not have any issues with blurred lines. All right, so I'm going to do some coloring with my alcohol markers. These are the Spectrum Noir Classique markers. Once I'm done with the coloring, I'll be right back with you to finish it all up. So now that my coloring is all done, I am going to go ahead and trim down my card panel. I really need to change the blade on this paper trimmer. It keeps ripping my paper, which is so irritating, but I was able to fix it. I just cut a little bit more off of one side than I originally planned to, but don't be like me. Definitely change your blade on your paper trimmer if it starts ripping up your cards. You don't want all of your hard work to be wasted at the last minute by a paper trimmer that can't cut. I used my little pair of scissors here to clean it up a little bit because it did have some frayed edges, and then I wanted to go ahead and mount it onto my card base. So I generally make A2 size cards, which are about 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I cut my card base down to that side and folded it in half. This is a top folding card. I just prefer these, but you can totally make it side folding instead. And then I'm using some of this giant roll of foam tape from scrapbook.com. I love this thing. It is 2 inches thick, which makes it super fast and easy to put these cards together and not have to worry about cutting 8 million strips of foam tape, which is a win in my book. So I just went ahead and cut a few little pieces to put in the center there so that my card didn't get smushed if I send it in the mail. And then I just went ahead and attached that to a white A2 size card base like I mentioned. And I thought that I was done with this card, but then I decided it needed a little something extra. It just felt like it needed a little pizzazz. So I got out my Nuvo drops. This is the Morning Dew drops in the crystal, or basically they're clear. And it doesn't have a color to it, so it literally is clear. And I'm just applying that to all of the little hearts. I thought that once this dried, it would give the card a nice little shine and just add a little bit of interest where it was a little plain before. You could totally skip this. It's absolutely optional, but I thought it added something nice to the card. All right, you guys, that finished off the card. So here's a look at the final piece. I hope you love it. If you do, be sure to give me a big thumbs up. When you guys do that, it lets YouTube know that you like what you're seeing and will help suggest my videos to you and to more people. So it really helps my channel when you guys do that. Thanks so much. Be sure to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and I'll see you guys in another one really soon.